Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the new Senna build going around, which is a Kraken Slayer rush into Rageblade second, and do a little damage test, a comparison to the previous build you'd run on Senna, which was an Eclipse into Manamune, and just compare the damage to see why this new Kraken and Rageblade build has started to really pop up as of recent. So the main reason we're seeing this build really pop up on Senna over the past patch or so is due to some buffs she received. She got a buff to her attack speed ratio. It got increased from 0.2 up to 0.3. So this makes going for attack speed items like Kraken and Rageblade a lot better now. And a change that makes Kraken Slayer a lot more viable on her is she got a little bug fix to where in previous patches her Q wasn't applying a stack of the Kraken Slayer passive. So now in this patch, or in last patch as well, you're able to proc Kraken with just the auto Q auto combo. You're able to proc the true damage, which makes the item a lot more viable on her now. And the main reason to why Rageblade can work so great on Senna is because the passive from Rageblade converts 1% of your crit into 2 on-hit damage, and because Senna gets free crit out of her passive, for every 20 mist wraiths you collect, you're going to be getting 10% crit. So once you hit the mid to late game there, you're going to be getting so much free crit from your passive, and it just allows you to deal a ton of on-hit damage from the Rageblade. So now if we jump into taking a look at a damage comparison here, we're going to be comparing the Kraken and Rageblade setup to the Eclipse and Manamune at this 2-item spike here. And once you hit this spike, you're going to be well over 40 mist wraiths collected in most of your games, but we'll just test it. I just did a test at 40, 60, 80, and 100 mists just to show you guys the progression of damage that you're going to be getting here from the Rageblade and Kraken setup. So at 40 mists, 1,349 damage from the Kraken Rageblade, 1,114 from the Eclipse and the Manamune setup. At 60, 1,480 damage there from Kraken and Rageblade, 1,256 from Eclipse. Once you get to 80, 1,612 from Kraken and Rageblade, and then 1,311 from Eclipse and Manamune. And then lastly there at 100, 1,753 from your Rageblade, and then 1,393 from Eclipse and Manamune. So breaking all this down now, what we can take away is that the damage is always going to be higher out of the Kraken and Rageblade setup, and the longer the game goes, the more damage you're going to be getting out of the Kraken Rageblade compared to the Eclipse and the Manamune. Rageblade and Kraken is just going to scale infinitely because the more crit you're getting from the passive there on Senna, the more on-hit damage you're going to have from the Rageblade. And then not only are you going to have more raw damage coming out of the Kraken and Rageblade setup, but your damage per second, or the amount of time it takes for you to deal that damage, is also going to be lower. You have more attack speed coming out of Kraken and Rageblade. You don't even have like any attack speed from Eclipse and Manamune, so the time it takes for you to deal the damage is going to be so much shorter with Kraken and Rageblade, which makes it even better. And then one more thing to consider that really favors the Kraken Rageblade build is that you can proc the Kraken true damage every 3 auto attacks. You can proc the Phantom hit passive from Rageblade every 3 auto attacks, whereas with the Eclipse percent HP damage, you only proc that once every 16 seconds for ranged champions, and therefore in those extended fights, like for this test here, we only did 3 auto attacks, right, or an auto Q auto. If you're taking an extended fight where you're auto attacking like 6 to 10 times, the damage is going to be like infinitely higher with Kraken and Rageblade. Now you do have to realize that a lot of the gold in Eclipse and Manamune isn't just coming from the damage. You're also getting like a ton of infinite mana from Manamune. You're also getting the shield out of Eclipse, whereas with Kraken and Rageblade, the only thing you're getting is damage, right? So there's a lot of gold from Eclipse and Manamune put into other stats other than just damage, which doesn't make the build, completely useless. The build is definitely still very strong. Both builds are great for Senna. Just to put this into perspective, the builds in solo queue right now have the exact same win rate, so it really just comes down to preference and what you think is best for the game. Are you valuing, the more damage out of Rageblade and Kraken, or do you want to value the shield and the infinite mana from the Eclipse and Manamune setup? Alright, so that is going to be all for the video, guys. Just a quick little rundown there on the new Senna build. Super fun to play. I definitely recommend spamming this in solo queue right now if you haven't tried it already. Really insane the amount of damage you can deal with this new build. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. So thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.